Hello and welcome to Insights from Autistic. Today's episode is about early childhood development. So this is a really tough area actually to look at because there's so many variables. Alright, so when a child is in the early development stages, that's when they're most, that can really shape the future. Even a child with autism, you can really shape them so that autism does not, affect them as much later on in life. But it's not just that, if you're someone who has a lot of issues, or you're going through a lot of problems, like you're going through financial problems, or your spouse and you are having all these arguments and fight, that's also going to have an impact on the child. And you have to be, if you're going to be a good parent, you have to be self-aware of your actions, not just what you're teaching your child, but how you are as an individual as well. And then of course there's the, should I do ABA? Should I do gelatin therapy? Should I do blah 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 blah? So here's the first thing. Your child has to have balance. You can't spoil your child too much. You have to find that right balance for your child. You have to be balanced as an individual too. If you're not balanced, if you're cuckoo, that's going to impact your child too. It's a fact. So, and a lot of parents, they're cuckoo and they don't realize it, and then their kids end up being screwed up adults when they grow up. It happens all the time. And yes, I am saying that children pick up on subconscious actions. That's a belief that I have. So your subconscious attitudes towards life, your child's going to pick it up. So be your absolute best self first and foremost. That is the most important thing as a parent, being your absolute best self. And not lying to yourself, about how things are going in life. I don't know, because I'm not a parent, but I can visualize what I'm talking about. Hopefully you get what I'm saying there. And yeah, so what about ABA? Alright, some ABA therapists really don't get it. They do a more of a, it's more painful. They do, instead of it being a reward system, it becomes reward punishment. Your child should not feel violated as a result of ABA. ABA, in its best practice, should not be a violation of a child. But I see some people who practice ABA, and it comes across as a violation, the way that the person does it. And what I mean by a violation is it's too forceful. Your child has to enjoy life. And you know what? It's great to have all these therapies, but the child has to be a child too. When they're growing up and everything like that, it's very important that your child is a child and enjoying life as a child should enjoy it. Because some parents do these 40 hours a week of this therapies, and that's good. That's important. And your child does need a lot of therapies, probably, but there needs to be the balance. So what I mean by balance, you as a parent need to be balanced. The therapies and fun time and everything needs to be balanced. And the way that I'm not a parent, so like I said, but early childhood development is really going to shape the future of your child. It's going to shape up how they are as an individual. It's going to shape up their capacity to function in society, in terms of their autism. And a lot of children who get early intervention do, go on to college and getting careers and even getting married. They might have an autism diagnosis at the early stages, but then they might grow out of that and get an Asperger's diagnosis. And so it is very important that you give this a lot of thought, that you don't just half-ass it, And so it's important that you really, really look at yourself as a parent. You really look at what you're doing and what you're thinking. It's important that you are aware of your thoughts and how your actions are impacting your child. It's important that you really pay attention to the therapies and see if you feel like the person's a good fit for your child or not. Yes, ABA can be intense, and sometimes it needs to be intense, but how much is too much is a good question. Now, I don't know where this balance is. Maybe as a parent you don't know either, but it's something that needs to be thought about, because there needs to be balance. Without balance, things get imbalanced. It's very simple. So I believe in early intervention. Okay, I really do believe in early intervention. I believe that a parent is very vital for that early stages of a child life of what is right and wrong. And I believe that a parent owes it to themselves to be their absolute best self, especially in that early child stages, because the child is going to pick up on all the crap and everything going on, and that's going to, you know, it can either make that child fearful growing up, or it can make that child empowered while growing up. And these are things that will affect the child until they're like in their 80s or until the day that they die sometimes. So that early stages is so important. So anyway, that's what I have to say today. I thank you for watching today's video, and I wish everybody an awesome day of awesomeness. Thank you.